In this video, we're going to see how we can use VLOOKUP to retrieve the values of multiple columns from a table. These columns should be contiguous columns, of course. This video is a sequel to the previous video for the basics of VLOOKUP. So if you don't understand VLOOKUP well and you'd like to learn the basics of VLOOKUP to make sure you understand all the ins and outs of the VLOOKUP function and make sure that you can always avoid the #NA error, then I'd recommend you watch the previous video, and I'll leave you the link for the previous video down below in the description, and it will be on the screen as well. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's say that you need to extract the name and email and address from the table that we have here on the right. And you need to do so by writing just a single formula in cell C11 and then dragging it all the way to the right and all the way downwards, and then you would get the correct results. And that's of course provided that these columns that you're trying to extract, which are the name and email and address, are contiguous columns on the lookup table, which they are. You can see here that the name and email and address are contiguous. So they are next to each other and in the same order. All right, so to do that, we're going to use the columns function in combination with the VLOOKUP function. So what does the columns function do? The columns function simply tells you the number of columns in a range. You give it any range. So let's say we give it this range here, which contains 3 columns. So H22 to J26 contains 3 columns, H and I and J. So if you press enter, you're going to get 3. You can give it any other range. Let's say we give it this range here, and it will still tell us the number of columns, which in this case will be 2 columns. So the columns function will just tell you the number of columns in any range. So to write our formula, we're going to select cell C11 and then write equals VLOOKUP. We're going to use the VLOOKUP function, and our lookup value will be the employee ID. And we're going to absolute the column part of the reference. So to do that, we're going to press F4 once, twice, 3 times. So we will press F4 3 times to absolute the column part of the reference. And it's crucial to absolute the column part of the reference because we're going to drag the formula to the right. So we need to be always looking at column A. And then we're going to put a comma, and the table array will be the same table array that we used on the previous video. And we're going to absolute that, of course, as we explained on the previous video as well. And then for the column index number, to extract the name, our column index number should be the second column. So the name is in the second column. However, what we're going to do is that we're going to substitute that with the columns function. So we're going to use the columns function, and we're going to highlight any range that contains 2 columns. So it could be this range, it could be this range, it could be this range. As long as it contains 2 columns, it doesn't matter. All right. But there's a trick here, which is that we need to absolute the first part of the range, the starting point of the range. We need to absolute that. So we're going to highlight it and press F4 on our keyboard. So you highlight just the first part or the starting point of the range, and you absolute it by using F4 on your keyboard, and you close the columns function. And what this is going to do by fixing or absoluting or pinning the first part of the range, so as you drag the formula to the right, the range is going to expand to include more columns because the second part, which is this blue part here, is not absoluted. It's relative. So it is going to move and it is going to expand. So this is like pinning one end of an elastic to the wall and then pulling the other end. So what is going to happen? The elastic is going to expand. So this is the same idea. You're going to pin the starting point, one end of the range, and then you're going to pull the other end away from the first end, right? So it's going to expand. And then the range lookup is going to be an exact match. And we're going to close the bracket and press enter. So you can see here that we did get the correct name. You can see here that on the name, we have the columns function spanning 2 columns. But then if we drag the formula to the right, you will see here that the columns function now spans 3 columns. So it's producing 3 in this case. So if you highlight it, you'll see here that it's telling us 3. And even if we press F9 on our keyboard, if you have an older version of Excel, you can see here the columns function is producing 3. I'll press Ctrl and Z to go back. So you can see here that it's now producing 3. And if you press enter and drag it one more step to the right, you'll see here that the columns function, if you highlight it and press F9 again, you'll see here that it's producing 4 and so on and so forth. So it's acting as a counter, as an enumerator. So on the name column, it's producing 2. So it's making the column index number 2. And then on the email column, it's producing 3, making the column index number here 3. And then on the address, producing 4 and so on and so forth. So you can see here that we were able to get all the details for David Miller correctly. So if you drag all the way to the right and then drag it downwards here, you can see here that we're getting the correct results, except for employee number 1020, which does not exist here on the list of employees. So this is why we're getting a hash NA for it, which we've learned that we can use the IFERROR function and then display not found. We've learned that on the previous video for the VLOOKUP basics. So if you haven't watched that video and you don't know about the IFERROR function and the basics of VLOOKUP, you can always watch the previous video. The link will be down in the video description. So you can see here that now we've managed to write a dynamic VLOOKUP formula that was able to retrieve all the columns that we needed, as long as they were consecutive. Of course, they were consecutive columns on the lookup table. We're able to retrieve the correct values in them by writing just a single formula and dragging it all the way to the right and dragging it downwards. And this is by combining the VLOOKUP function with the columns function in the column index number argument or input. Alright guys, so this concludes our video today. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos. And please make sure to follow us on social media. You'll find the links down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.